Maybe I want to do that with the Mel Gibson classic, Paycheck.
Talk back on. Oh, press OK to pair.
Alright guys, here we are with the AirTV. I'm very excited to get this thing unboxed, opened up, and tested out for you. We'll hook it up to the TV. We've got an antenna ready to go because the big selling point of the AirTV is this AirTV adapter. I want to see how well it really does perform with an antenna. So this device, what I'm holding right here, the AirTV Player, it's 99 bucks by itself. This one you can get by itself for 40, but I don't know why anybody would get the antenna adapter by itself. It doesn't make any sense. So you get the bundle for $130. First impressions when I got the box, I mean, the number one response that we got from people here in the office at Reviews.org was it designed by Fisher-Price? The answer is maybe. Let's bust it open and see how things look inside the box. So this box, the first one we're doing, this is the AirTV Player. This is what will actually hook up to your TV. Here it is. It's actually smaller than I expected, and it's got a little weight to it. The Fisher-Price thing still kind of applies. Let's see, SlingTV and get started. So it comes with its own HDMI cable. That's good. We'll need that. Comes with the remote. Oh, okay. Here's the remote actually feels pretty nice. I like that. And a power cable. Got our Ethernet, the power, the HDMI. Ooh, a digital audio. Okay, so if you've got surround sound or something, you can hook it in there, and a couple of USB ports. I'm not entirely sure what those would be for. I don't know, storage maybe, but we'll figure it out. And then there's a little button right here on the front. I assume this is how you pair the remote. Now, for the adapter, I assume this is going to be pretty straightforward. I don't know why this box is so huge, but let's in there. Yeah, that's a massive box for this little thing. I kind of hate that. Does anybody else hate that? They have this giant box for this tiny little thing. Another HDMI cable. The adapter itself. Man, this thing is packaged tight. They really don't want this getting damaged. Maybe it's really fragile or something? That's all you needed to package in that giant box. First impressions, like I said, yeah, I guess I still get kind of a Fisher-Price feeling. The plastic is pretty plasticky, but the weight is good. I'm not gonna throw it around, but I'm also not gonna worry, like if my kid drops it 3 feet onto the carpet, it's probably gonna be fine. So no worries there. The remote feels pretty good, and actually one thing I like about the remote is that it's not black like every other remote that I've got, and so it stands out. I feel like I'll be able to find it more easily. I like the remote, and it's got the batteries. Batteries are included, everybody. I like that. Let's go ahead and plug it in. Oh, look, okay, so there's no light right there, but there is a light right here on the digital audio, so I know the power's in there. Connect to the internet using your own Ethernet cable, or connect to your Wi-Fi network during on-screen setup. We're gonna try Wi-Fi first. I need the TV remote. Oh, here we go. Where's the light? There's no light. Oh, hey, there's a little power light.
Talk back on.
Oh.
Press OK to pair.
Press OK. This has a speaker on it. All right, so now I'm gonna set up SlingTV because it comes with this handy $50 credit. Let's go do some more research. We're gonna play with this over the weekend and see what we can find out about how it works. All right, welcome back everybody. It's been a few days. We had a weekend and I took a couple of sick days that you can probably hear, but it was perfect because I needed some time to play around with the AirTV Player, which I did in abundance, and I've learned a few things, some good, some bad, and I want to walk you through those now. First thing that I was disappointed with was I thought because this was a Google interface, they piped that directly in there, I thought you could get any app from there to work on here, generally speaking. But no, that's not the case. DirecTV Now does not work on the AirTV Player. They haven't built an app yet that will work on the AirTV Player. So that was extremely disappointing. I was able to get, obviously, SlingTV, it's built right in. SlingTV works on here, PlayStation Vue works on the AirTV Player, but DirecTV Now does not. So if you're using some of those over-the-top platforms, just be aware that one is not an option. Perhaps it will be later. It's not right now. While you can download games from the Google Play Store, this does not work for them. So gaming, is not so friendly unless you're going to get a USB gaming controller to go with this player. Now, the remote may not work for that, but I'll tell you one thing that's really cool. Okay, listen close. So if I press the remote button on the AirTV Player, it actually sends out a little signal to the remote, so you'll never lose your remote again. If it's between the couch cushions or something, you should hear it beeping. You just press the little remote button and it'll find it for you. So not a bad little feature. Diving now into the interface itself, I'll show you guys a few of the things that I learned. First things first, right here, this is your front page, the Sling page. They really want this to be your front page, so that this big blue button right up top is what takes you there. So I press on that, it goes to my TV. Now here's what I was really excited about. I've got my antenna plugged into the AirTV, and it's pulling in the over-the-air channels. So I'm getting my local channels. Now, at CES this year, when AirTV was doing their demonstration of the player, they showed this My Channels section with not only your SlingTV favorite channels, but also your over-the-air channels that you've liked showing up there. You actually do not have that option. So you can go in there and you can favorite certain channels from SlingTV, but you do not have the option to bring in your over-the-air channels. Instead, what you have to do, and this is, I can't believe they buried it, but you have to go to your guide, down to all these channels here, and scroll all the way to the right, to this little icon. View over-the-air and internet channels, you launch that, and it'll bring it up. So frankly, I'm really disappointed that they didn't roll that in right away. I actually called their customer service and they said that that would be coming in, an update that's coming later this month, and that they would integrate that just like they promised at CES. We'll see. Going back to my Sling page, the other thing that they do is they pull in not only your favorite channels or something that you have watched previously and maybe you want to continue watching, but you can do your favorite movies and programs. Here's another pet peeve of mine. Netflix shows up right here on your front page, and I was expecting, oh, well, if I add something to my Netflix queue, they'll bring it right up here and put it into the interface. Not the case. They're going to do Netflix's recommended series and movies, trying to push stuff on you. None of this has anything to do with stuff that I've saved or stuff that I've watched. And it changes every single time I come in here. There's no reason that I would want to watch Lab Rats or presumably whatever this is. On the other hand, it is extremely easy to get to your Netflix queue if you want to. They provide you the little Netflix button right there. So if I press that, it takes me directly to Netflix. So it's not that hard, but I think we all get pretty annoyed sometimes when something is pitched as a convenience and instead it's a way for the company, in this case Netflix, to push something on you that you didn't ask for and weren't looking for. The other button here that I'll point out, this G, that Google G, it's a Google search button. If I hold the Google button, all right, it's listening and it's going to search for whatever I say. Time travel movies. All right. So it's going to be, this is in your Google Play Store. It'll show you YouTube results, your SlingTV options, that sort of thing. But that's all that button does. It is a Google search option. Now, the button that I found the most helpful of all on this is the little diamond button, which I wish they had labeled better, but it's a little diamond. And you press that, and this will take you to all of your apps. So now here you can see all of the apps. You've got your Google Play Store, so you can find things there. Here's the game that I tried to download and operate, and it didn't work. You've got YouTube and Netflix, everything that you've downloaded. Like I said, PlayStation Vue works. I never did get Disney XD to work, which obviously I need my Star Wars Rebels, but the app itself will sit here for a minute, and then it'll shut down. Yeah, and it just takes you right out of it. But, on the other hand, PlayStation Vue did work, so I can go in and use my subscription there. So it's a little bit of a clunky way to get to PlayStation Vue, but you can do it. It's just not right there on the front page. Now, the question that I'm sure everybody's dying to ask about, the aspect ratio. Why on this whatever 50-inch TV, why is it only taking up half of the screen? It's a great question. So I'm going to press that diamond button again and go down here to the settings. So HDMI. And yeah, I want to look at our resolution. You'll see it's set to auto. So as far as I can tell, what they're trying to do is get you the best picture quality that they can on your TV. And in this case, the resolution, whatever resolution they're using, is only taking up that much of the screen, and that's the best picture quality. Now, I tried all of these, and I think I was able to use 720p, and that filled up the entire screen. And it looks fine. It's not quite as sharp as what it had before, but it's fine, and I prefer watching it on the full screen anyway. It's really distracting to have all those thick borders. Now, that's fine, so you can switch it. But you'll notice it still says auto. It doesn't, as far as I can tell, allow you to permanently set it to whatever aspect ratio you want. Now, I'm going to shut the AirTV Player off, and voila, we're back to the old aspect ratio. So you would have to do this every single time you turned it on if you wanted the full screen format and it wasn't doing that automatically on your TV. So super duper annoying. A few other things we'll go over. I'll just point out, let's see, the recall button, obviously that's going to take you to the last thing that you were doing. The guide button will take you straight to that tab on your Sling operating system, I guess you'd call it. And that's where, again, you would have to scroll all the way to the right to find your over-the-air channels. Super annoying. Let's see, the info button. If you're watching something, that'll pull up whatever it is you're watching. And let's see, right up here, microphone button. That's your search feature, your voice command. Play Friends on Netflix. Huh. Open Netflix. It's not very useful. Interstellar. We know that one worked. Friends. Okay. So use super generic searches just for titles, basically. Breaking Bad. Okay. Well, best of luck to you. And this is the thing that I found. I had really rotten luck using the voice command on this machine. I think I touched the voice command in the first 10 minutes and I didn't love how it was working, and so I abandoned it. Now, it would be really nice if the remote and the player and the interface all came with a really great manual, something that could walk you through all of the possible uses of this. If you go to airtv.net/player, that's where they say, oh, we've got all these FAQs. They really don't answer very much at all about how to use the device, how to use the remote. For instance, how best to use the search, the voice search on this thing. It could be that I'm using it entirely wrong and there's a great way to do it. However, it's not very intuitive if that's the case, and it would be great to have a manual, online or otherwise, but you just don't have anything like that, unfortunately. Now, if I click the favorite icon, oh, I love this movie, I want to watch it over and over again for some reason. I click the heart icon and it pulls up my favorite channels on SlingTV, but it will not let me favorite this program. Very, very frustrating. So you'll notice back on the My TV interface, it says click the heart icon while browsing content to have your favorite movies and programs appear here. Sounds great. Maybe I want to do that with the Mel Gibson classic, Paycheck. So I click on the heart icon. It does not allow me to favorite any programs, any movies. It only lets me do that if I go to my channels on Sling, edit that, and then favorite those here. Once I do that, then they show up on the list. Well, eventually they'll show up after you restart the machine. But it's just another one of those things that's not as advertised. So a lot of these things that they're promising, even in the interface, let alone what they did at CES, are simply not happening on the machine as is. All right, so let's talk about whether we would recommend this product or not. It's a tough one. Now, what we like about it, the over-the-air antenna adapter is really great. It's nice not to have to switch just to get to your over-the-air channels if you use an antenna. Unfortunately, the flip side of that is I was really hoping that they would integrate it even more into the interface And like I mentioned, they don't. Another thing that I like is that for SlingTV, it's a really nice, seamless experience. It's really great. It's obviously built for SlingTV. It says it right there. It's made by the same company. Like I said, you can also get PlayStation Vue on here. You cannot get DirecTV Now. And then as far as the software that's on there, it does tend to get pretty buggy. There are plenty of apps that I tried to download and use. I showed you the Disney XD one, and it simply didn't work. I would try to boot it up and it would spend a few seconds and then shut down and go back to the previous screen. And that's incredibly annoying when the software that they're touting on the machine itself isn't working at all. So as far as whether I would recommend it, not usually, not to most people. The only exception would be if you already have an over-the-air antenna, and if you already use SlingTV or you know you would like to use SlingTV, then this is a pretty good option. For everybody else, if you're already an Apple TV user, or if you prefer PlayStation Vue, or whatever the case may be, especially if you're a DirecTV Now customer, don't use the AirTV Player. Find another option that's going to work better for you. So we'll keep an eye on this one for the next 3 to 6 months. There have been some promised software updates. Maybe we revise our opinion of it, but for now, unless you're a SlingTV customer with an antenna, probably stay away from this one. Alright guys, thanks for watching. We got plenty more videos coming, so please subscribe. We really appreciate it.